And we're live. I hope.
Oh, wow. Really? I was not expecting it to be this soon.
Well, it's 8:45. I figured we might need to do something.
Yeah, let me get the... So I'm going to switch this back over. Put this over here so I can see us. And then put this here, mute that, drop it down, pop out the chat. Does it put, we'll put it here. And then, okay.
Gonna beat you.
I think, yes. What do you mean you're gonna beat me?
I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat you with this homemade flute thing. I don't know why I did that.
I remember when you did that and why you did it.
I was trying to make one of them off.
Now I can actually hear it. So before, what it was doing through the Xbox party is it wasn't coming through the Xbox party at all. But now it's coming through your microphone. Yeah. So it's like you were doing it. And there's another thing we could do too. So Patrick, say like tell a really bad dad joke.
A really bad dad joke?
Yeah.
Well, let's. Why are you putting me on the spot like this?
Because you can do it. You've been able to do it before.
Yeah, but I usually have to prepare. Hi, Diesel Man. I usually have to prepare for these things, Mike.
Yeah, but there's got to be one that you just know right off the top of your head. Come on.
Why do cows wear belts? Or bells,
Why?
Sorry.
Why?
Because their horns don't work. Really? Is that is that what you wanted to do? God, I hate you.
Also, get rid of that notification in your bottom right, because it's getting picked up on the stream.
Oh my gosh.
Diesel Man said he liked that joke, actually. It's still there.
Is it still? Give it a second. It should be gone.
There we go. It's gone.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Diesel
there's
Man.
other ones.
We'll just kind of give him a little heads up. Oh, crap. Almost.
Yeah. So what you need to know is Justin is sitting there being up.
Do you just have a soundboard?
Yeah, it's a new feature. It's called soundboards.
Oh, God. Okay, Mr. Soundboard. Yeah, Justin was having some technical difficulties where we're going to play a game tonight or something, but he got problems.
He did not get Spectrum, which is usually when our internet gives, because obviously I'm here. So how else would I would not be here if we were Spectrum. But no, he got, let's just say he got into a battle with a PC and the PC won. He proved that the machine is in fact smarter than he is.
Why did the bicycle fall over?
Oh no.
Because it was too tired.
I only wanted you to do it.
You're gonna have to keep that up. There you go. See, you're gonna have to keep that up there because you never know when I'm gonna throw in another dad joke like, "What did the triangle say to the circle?" You're pointless.
Oh no.
Oh, my head hurts.
Dude. There's more. There's more. There's only 6 sounds. We can have up to 8 custom ones, but I would have to make them.
Oh my gosh. Well, then make them. I think you could do some good sounds on your own. Just get the dog barking really bad. There's one.
Yeah, dog barking.
I ordered a chicken and an egg online. I'll let you know what comes first. Was that a golf clap?
Yeah, it's literally titled Golf Clap.
So, yeah, we are going to do a podcast episode tonight because, frankly, Mike's a pervert and he didn't want to play any games. No, that's not the real reason. It's just this seemed like it was more appropriate.
We were sitting there waiting, and it's like, okay, we did not really prepare a game to play tonight, so there's that. And then it's like, well, you still have this, so we can just pop up and do this.
I got another dad joke for you.
Oh no!
Why can't Miss Piggy count to 100?
Why?
Because every time she gets to 69, she gets a frog in her throat. Crickets? Come on!
Oh, Lord. Then this is the last one.
Yeah, I like that one. I'm going to probably hear that quite a bit, aren't I?
Maybe.
Sad.
Oh, Lord.
All right. So, what topics do you have?
Let's see. I was looking at a list of stuff we could talk about. You know what? There we go. That would not be a bad one. I just saw on stream you lose your flute.
It's not made out of skin.
What? Yeah, okay, so this is going to take some time for you to remember, but talk about your favorite Christmas.
God, Christmas has been a very, very dark time for me.
Okay, I think I opened up a can of worms I don't know if I wanted to open up.
I'm not going to worry about going into a lot of it, but I will say that one of my favorite Christmases is not about... I mean, I did receive one year, I received a Game Shark and played Resident Evil and cheated my ass off with that game, and that was fun. But I think it was the atmosphere of Christmas Eve, and I think I watched those clay animations like Rudolph and Santa Claus is Coming to Town. And I remember going outside. It was Christmas Eve. I remember going outside. It was snowing, but the snow was soft and falling. I just remember the nighttime. I remember the real soft snow, and I remember watching that show. It was kind of magical. I think that was probably a really good memory of mine. That was a
How
while
old
ago.
were you?
35, 36. No.
Oh, okay. So it was more recent. I was sitting here thinking like you're talking about like you were like 10 years old or something.
Yeah, I probably was about 10 years old. I was real young. I just remember, like I said, watching those. It was still like, we were on Christmas break and stuff like that. Yeah, it was more the atmosphere, I think, that made that Christmas more magical than anything else. What about you, Mike?
I'd have to agree with you on that because, like, trying to go back and trying to remember past Christmases, like, I never remember the gifts that I got. Like, even, so it's like, so my family, they spend hundreds of dollars most of the time and then, like, forget completely what they got me. But instead, what I remember the most is, like, stuff that went on during the Christmas time. Like, like a tradition that we had in my household was we would find a radio station that did nothing but play Christmas music 24/7. And that radio was to play until they shut off the station after Christmas. So the radio was on in our house 24/7 doing nothing but playing Christmas music. And my dad thought it was the greatest thing in the world. But let me tell you, by the time you get around to the 11th and 12th of December, you're sitting there being like, I want to blow my brains out because I've heard Jingle All the Way about 30 times now.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of different Christmas songs that are not copies from something else.
No.
Did you ever listen? I ended up around the Christmas time. I always bought those cassette tapes. Listen to me, of Christmas music, and one of them was like the spoof Christmas songs. So like Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer and other things like that. I used to play that all the time.
I had a Disney CD, a Disney Christmas CD, and it literally had, like, one of the songs was literally Donald and Mickey Mouse singing the 12 Days of Christmas, I think. And it got to like the super cringe part, so where it's like Goofy and Donald trying to sing their parts, and it's like, kill me.
I can't do impressions very well.
Yeah. And what else did we used to do for Christmas too? Oh, I remember for the longest time we used to get real Christmas trees, and we had to stop doing that when we found out that my sister and my stepmom too, but she just assumed it was the cat, were pretty allergic to it.
Oh, God.
So during Christmas time, their allergies would be going berserk. and we just assumed it was the cat shedding.
That's,
and it took 3 years before we figured out, oh, it's the tree. And then the thing I hated about real trees too is every single time we got one, guess who was the one that had to clean up all the needles when it was done?
I think it was you. Yeah.
Yes, me. And I hated those needles too, because it felt like, literally would feel like I'm getting pricked every single time I would try to clean them up. It just, ugh.
Yeah, we when I was younger, we used to have like a real tree every now and then, but then like my parents went to the fake trees, which honestly that's what I do myself. I don't have to buy a tree every stinking year. Hey, Dylan. Oh, yeah. What's up?
You save some money that way too in the long run.
Yeah.
You know, it's an expensive purchase at first, but then there was somebody though I forget who they were. There's somebody that we know though, that me and Justin know, that oh no. I remember now. I remember.
What?
We work with this person, Patrick.
Oh no.
This person said they buy a fake tree every year.
Why would you buy a fake tree every year? That's the whole point of having a fake tree.
So this is what they said that they would do is they buy the tree, they decorate and everything, and then when Christmas is over, they're like, I don't want to take it down and just throw it out in the dumpster.
Dylan gets a vinyl wall tree. So are you talking like a sticker? Like a small
pretty
sticker?
much. Yeah, pretty much.
I guess I could
like
see
a fat head tree. I mean, if you don't have room, it works out that way.
That's true. But no. they buy a fake tree every year.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And they said that this past Christmas would be the last time they do that. And I was like,
Why?
Like, we are buying an expensive one, and we're going to keep it this time. I'm like, I'm like, why didn't you keep the one you bought the other times? Oh, I just didn't feel like, taking everything down. It's like,
that's the whole point.
So you would put up the tree, you would decorate the tree, and then instead of undecorating it, you just throw it away. Yeah. It's like I literally looked at him like, okay, if I were to take like a roll of money and hold it out in front of you and light it on fire, what would you think? It's like, we're burning money. It's like, that's what you're doing that every year. You're literally burning $50 to $100 a year. That's what you're doing.
You know what it is? It's first world problems. That's what it is. It's kind of like what Dylan's saying. That's what we call rich problems.
This person's not rich. They're just stupid.
Some people live like they're rich, and they're not. Like I spend way too much. Yeah, I spend way too much money at the card store. But that's beside the point.
Yeah.
You hate Christmas, Dylan?
Yeah. You got to understand something about Patrick, okay? There's a lot of times where he's like, do I feed my kids? Do I buy Fallout merchandise?
That's never been the case, Mike. No.
Fallout merchandise.
My kids.
And then you look at your kids and go, Dad really needs this Pip-Boy.
You see this? This is the size of Michael's sounding rod that he sounds his dick every night with.
Well, if I do that, why do you have it?
Because I like to smell it.
It's literally in your position. Oh, God. Here, you want some Fermunda cheese? There's plenty of Fermunda cheese in there.
Okay, look. I make sure that my bills are paid. I make sure that my kids are fed. I make sure everything is taken care of. And then whatever money I have left over is spend money. And that is everything. Like, I make sure everything's taken care of before I even go spend. I do not default. I am not late on my bills. Even when I had credit card debt, I was not late on it.
Yeah.
And where did it get me? Nowhere. I'm still sitting here talking to you, Mike.
Yeah.
My parents and my wife's parents are both divorced and remarried just tour a whole damn state doing Christmas over and over.
Yeah.
What?
That's basically what he's saying is his parents were divorced and got remarried to other people. Then he has to do Christmas in several different places every year.
Oh yeah. Hey,
I can understand that.
My family was really small, and that was I think what they wanted to do. My family hates people. They hate their own family. Okay, so when my family's Christmases were Christmases, it was
this is just facts, by the way.
Yeah, it was just a mom, dad, kids, right? We had grandparents. We had I have a cousin and what the hell is the adults? Uncle and aunt.
Aunts
Jesus.
and uncles.
Yes, thank you. I have them like I don't know 5 blocks down the road. I probably have seen them 15 years ago. So our family is very small, and we like choose to keep it that way. And nobody likes anybody in my family. So when I got married to my wife, she has like 7,000 cousins.
Family.
Yeah, so I'm not used to like going from one house. I hated that. Going from one house to another house to another house. For all these Christmases, you like are freaking stuffed by the time you get to the last house. And be like, I can't eat anymore. And they're like, you should really eat some of this. I spent all freaking day making it. All right.
I do have a funny story. So when I think we were I was 14, 13 or 14, I don't remember. One of the two. We decided one year to try and hit all 3 parts of the family, or like have Christmas all on the same day. So in the morning, the house, like my house, we had our Christmas. For lunch, we went to one of the grandparents, and for dinner, we went to the other grandparents. By lunch, I was so full that I couldn't eat half my food, and then when we got to my other grandparents' house in the evening, I looked at my grandma. Like my grandma made me my favorite dessert at the time. It was she made like a really good Oreo pie, and she made it like fresh the same that morning, so it was gonna be really good. I looked at that and I looked at Grandma. I'm like, I am sorry, Grandma, but I can't.
You take it home with you.
Can't. My dad ate it.
Yeah, see,
we
Dylan.
took it home and my dad ate it all.
He's saying that he had a minimum of 4 Christmases every year with his 3 kids. With 3, Jesus.
Yeah.
4 Christmases. No.
We always did. So what we did is we had 3 Christmases that was just with the 2 grandparents, or 2 sets of grandparents, and then us. And then we had one usually that involved one side of the family, like a whole, like, actually, no, wait, we had 5. We usually had 5. We would have the 3 private ones, and then we'd have 2 with the bigger parts of the family. And they were usually dinners. And it was usually what we would do, like, literally we would save Christmas Eve and Christmas Day for the grandparents and us. And then the week before Christmas, we would have one of the dinners. And then the week after Christmas, we would have the other dinner. So I was eating so much food.
They wonder why.
I would have, like, literally, there would be so much leftover turkey at every single one of these things where me and my dad would literally feast on turkey for a whole week.
Now, I will say that does help, having all that extra turkey. But you get sick of it after a while.
Well, that's when you find different stuff to dip it in. Like honey mustard.
I'm going to dip my balls in this. Yeah, see, like, I don't know. It's when I grew up being in a small knit and marrying into that, it just was freaking nuts. And some family members on that side kind of got a little offended if you didn't want to eat there.
Oh,
if we
always had that problem too. Okay, so I will say, my dad's side of the family, we didn't care where we had it. It was okay because the family was super chill with each other. Like, we were fine with, there was no beef or anything like that. My mom's side of the family, on the other hand, was where all the beef was, and it was always amongst our cousins.
What's for dinner? And
our aunts and uncles, and they would always like constantly bicker back and forth and argue with each other and fight over stupid stuff from the past. And it's like over and over and over. Like, it was a repeat every single Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's all they did, was just want to argue and stuff about stuff of the past. It's like stuff that happened that was like, this is the black sheep moment of the family, blah 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 blah, like that kind of stuff. And just always on. And then also on my mom's side, they hated my grandfather just because my grandfather is a hard ass. Okay, so he's like my grandfather was born in the 40s. He should have grown up in the 40s and served in the World War II. That's what kind of a hard ass he is. So it's so he's 20 years, 20 years past that time period.
And I'm sure he had nothing PC to say about anything, right?
Oh no, he didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm sure he used slang words to describe things.
Oh yeah, he did not. Still to this day, he still don't care. Like my siblings, for example, they don't like swear words at all, like any kind of swearing. So when I'm around them or whatever, I watch my mouth and everything. My grandpa, though, if he knows they're within earshot, he'll watch his. But the moment he thinks they're out of earshot, fuck this, fuck that bullshit, fucking. And there was one time, I don't know what happened, but my sister was telling me about it. He like had an episode in the kitchen. She called it an episode. She was upstairs grabbing something, and he didn't know that she was there. And he like went off on a tirade, and she heard every bit of it. And then she like awkwardly like walked out of the house right in front of him. And he texts her mom. Well, my stepmom, her mom, text her and be like, I think I didn't wash my mouth in front of your she's like, what did you say? And he goes, just ask her. I'll let you tell her. I'll let her tell you what I said.
It's that type. I think it's that like age of people. Because my dad, he's not as old, but he still grew up in a mentality of that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And like even still to this day, when it's just now me and my sister that come over for like Christmas or whatever, he'll start rambling off about how she's fat and just going off like attacking the family.
My grandfather won't do that. He'll do that to particular couple people, but he won't do that about everybody else in the family.
Yeah, it's just...
No, he usually targets other people that he doesn't know very well. He's like, that pick down the street.
Well, that's the thing is our family's so close, or so small, I should say, not necessarily close, but small, that there is nobody else to talk crap about. It's just us. Me act and sound exactly like Hank Hill with a splash of racism. No, damn it! Oh, yes.
God damn it,
Everybody,
Bobby.
I'm not gonna say anything because I really feel like this is gonna go bad quick.
God damn it, Bobby! I told you not to use propane in that neighborhood.
Oh, like, damn it, Bobby! Did you cut the holes in the sheet again?
No, my God! I just now got what you said.
Explosive podcast.
My
gosh. Yeah, holidays are great.
Well, my brother actually, he brought up a thing about my grandpa a couple weeks ago. He said that grandpa used to watch his mouth around him, but now he doesn't anymore. And I was like, oh, that means you've grown up into being a man now. That's what exactly that means. He goes, huh? He's like, him not having a filter around me is like him seeing me as a man now. He's like, yeah, he don't give a fuck no more.
I mean, I guess that's...
I came from a super sheltered family, super religious. So I had helicopter parents, okay? Now, they'll argue with me and say they were not helicopter parents, but they were definitely helicopter parents.
Like, I believe it because you are still sheltered and it's gone way beyond where it should have. So I completely understand.
Excuse me? How am I still sheltered?
You don't even know what foreskin looks like, and I've offered, but you won't look at it.
I don't want to see your foreskin, okay?
Anyway, go ahead, helicopter parents.
So that's a lot of the reasons why they don't like swear words. They don't like to hear that shit and everything else. And I don't care anymore. I really don't give a fuck anymore. So I quit giving a fuck about 15 years ago. So because it's just whatever, you know. Right. You know, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Blah blah blah. Which my parents to this day still say that's not true. Blah blah. I'm like, no, it's just about what you care about, what you don't care about. Like, who cares if like John Doe down the street talks shit about you? Who gives a flying fuck? You don't like. Who cares? It only matters when someone's like purposefully insulting you to try to put you down. Then that's a different story. But anyways, so that's a lot of the reasons why they don't like swearing. And then, my brother still does not like it, but Grandpa don't watch himself anymore around him. And then now, here's the funny thing too. Grandpa's beginning to not watch himself around my dad, and my dad don't like it either. So So my dad's just sitting there thinking, yep.
Yeah,
I do have a couple funny stories about swearing in front of them before.
Oh gosh.
So
Okay.
they've heard me swear in front of them twice.
Okay.
The first time I was trying to show my parents something, and I said, "Ah, shit," and my stepmom elbowed me in the stomach so fucking hard, like it was like it hurt, and so I'm like keeling over. And I was like, it just slipped out. And she's like, don't let that slip out. And my dad's sitting over there trying not to laugh.
How old were you?
I was 19.
What? Okay. I was like thinking like maybe you were 14 or 13 or something. I wasn't expecting like a grown
my
man.
ass would have been beat if I was 14. And then the last time it happened was when I hurt my knee. Because when it happened, I literally screamed, "God damn it," right in front of them. And they didn't like that at all. They thought I was being over dramatic until they saw that my kneecap was on the side of my leg. And then they were like, "Oh, so he's not faking it." Because they thought I hit myself in the knee with the baseball bat. Like, no, my kneecap slid out of place. Like, I just kept saying that over and over again. I'm like, my kneecap slid out of place. Call an ambulance.
Let's hold on. Let's take a break just for context for people that don't know. When Mike's talking about his kneecap sliding out of place, he was lazily swinging a bat like this, and then all of a sudden his leg gave out.
No, I will explain exactly what happened. Okay,
listen to be the judge.
I was hitting. I had a baseball. I was hitting it for the dog because it was his little toy ball. So I threw it up in the air, and I went like this, and I swung. And when I swung, I did not. I pivoted my left foot into the ground and did not turn my body with it. So it's straight down into the ground, right? Uh-huh. My body's curvy. It reached to a point where my knee popped. And when it popped, the kneecap literally went just straight out of place. And it rolled over to the side of my leg. And then I go straight down to the ground, and I've just got my kneecap over here. And I'm like telling my family, go call an ambulance. Okay? I cannot move. They were going to try to pick me up and put me in a vehicle. And I'm like, do you not see this? I can't move.
They should have checked your insurance provider before they called the ambulance. Aren't you still paying for that trip?
Not the ambulance part, just the doctor. Actually, no, the doctor fee should be about up now. But so yeah, and they thought I was being over dramatic, and I'm like, actually, I was pretty calm during the whole thing. Like my stepmom took like one look, and she freaked out when she saw the kneecap on the side, and she ran to the house after that, and she did not want to look at me. And I'm like showing the rest of my family, like, yeah, look, it's just over here. As long as I stay perfectly still, it doesn't hurt. But then, they all show up. The EMTs show up. I show it to them and everything else, and they're like, "Oh boy." I'm like, "Yep, this is gonna be one expensive trip, ain't it, boys?" And then they literally had to morphine me before I could move because my leg was so tensed up because of that. And when I had to get knocked out to get it popped back into place. And when they were looking at my x-rays afterwards, the ER doctor said that I was super fortunate that nothing tore because something could have very easily tore. But he said it just looks like that I stretched the ligaments and it'll take some time for it to heal back in place. And I was just like, okay, I want to go home now. And the sad part is, this was day one of my vacation.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Day one of my vacation, gone. And my whole vacation's just gone. Like, I can't enjoy myself or nothing.
You sat around playing Skyrim. That's as good as vacation.
When I was at their house.
Yeah, well, they were making you dinner, right?
Yeah, but I couldn't move. I was just literally confined to a chair.
You're looking at it wrong. You've got somebody taking care of you, feeding you. You don't have to worry about any of that. You're playing games constantly. You have an excuse to sit there and play games. It's not like somebody can look at you and be like, get up, mow the yard. No, your leg twisted off. So you have an excuse to sit there and play video games, and you have somebody feeding you, probably bringing you your food and drinks when you need it. That was paradise, dude. People pay a lot of money for that sitting on a beach.
Well, I was also in a lot of pain. You forgot about that too. I was also in a lot of pain.
Oh, that's nothing.
Oh no, that. What do you mean that's nothing? Literally, my knee swelled up to 2 or 3 sizes normal, and it swelled up so much that when I went for my first appointment after, it was basically a surgery, I guess is what you call it. After that, I go to my first follow-up appointment. The doctor there's like, I'm going to drain your knee. I was like, okay, because there's gonna be a lot of blood and pus. Okay, so he takes this syringe. Okay, you looking at me, Patrick?
I'm looking.
Okay, so he takes this syringe, which is about this long and about that freaking.
Oh, whatever.
No, I'm not joking. It was a huge fucking syringe, and then on the needle on it itself was pretty large.
Okay.
So he had to numb my knee first before he went in there, and he spent probably about 5-10 minutes draining that knee, and I was like, well, how much was in there? And he when he about finishes up, he takes it out, shows me the syringe, and it's completely full. Like this thing is I'm talking like full. And I just look at it, I'm like, oh my God. And he's like, yeah. He's like, this is unusual. Usually I only get about quarter of that, but like there's a lot in here. And he didn't even get all of it either. Like he got most of it, but not all of it that was still in there. And he was like, I think you're
if you're just joining the chat, he's not talking about semen, okay?
Oh
anyway, go ahead.
But he told me that he thought my body was overreacting to the injury because he's like, your body should not be swelling up that much, especially since the X-rays did not look bad. Like everything looked good in the X-rays. So he's like, why your body's doing that? I don't know.
Yeah. To answer Dylan's question real quick, Mike doesn't have any kids, so yeah, he doesn't have that aspect. Mike is a bachelor.
No.
Well, if you want to call him that. I call him a pervert, but it comes out to be the same thing.
Has anybody seen your camp? Has anybody seen?
Hey, Justin just joined in saying it's explosive.
Is that what he was blowing my phone up? Because I could hear my phone going off. I was trying to figure out what he wanted.
He was like, "You guys aren't in the party chat?" And I'm like, "No, we're on Discord."
Yeah, we were. Wait. Wow.
What was that, like an hour ago?
You're literally 4 minutes late.
A brown recluse bite. Ugh. See,
those ones you got to be careful with because they can like rot your whole arm away if you get bit in the arm.
I've been bit by spiders. Nothing like that. And the brown recluse thing. I probably have seen them, just not really known it. I know that they're like one of the worst things that we have here in Indiana. But I've seen black widows and stuff, and ugh, I hate spiders. I'm not like terrified of them, but ugh.
I've never seen a black widow here. I have seen a brown recluse before, but it was, I think I saw it at a zoo. I don't remember. I have seen one black widow in person, and it was when I went to Virginia, and I killed that sucker. I was like, "You ain't biting me today."
To a place.
Not West Virginia, Virginia.
When I lived in Florida, we had what was called a lanai. Pretty much was a porch on the back side of the house, screened-in area, right? But where I was at in Florida, it didn't really drop below freezing. So our washer and dryer was technically on that back lanai, the porch, outside. Mm-hmm. So when you wanted to do laundry, you basically went to the porch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Black widows everywhere. You go to do laundry, you open up the freaking closet doors where the washer and dryer is. They're just like barn spiders here, there. Black Widows, upside down, red hourglass on them. And I was freaking out one day. And the only thing I didn't have any insecticide. I could have just swung at it, but I was scared. All I had was lamp oil, and I ended up dumping that on it. I feel so bad, but yeah, they're just. I hate. Ugh. Why is something so small so freaking poisonous? Why?
I mean, you could ask the same thing about a tick.
Dylan says he's going to show me the scar. I thought it was just a black, and a hole got bigger and a quarter, and when I squeezed the arm, green and yellow would. Oh God! As long as that spot is above the waist, I'm okay. That's fine. I don't want to be like, yeah, it's right in here on the inside of the thigh. You're gonna have to, Patrick, move the sack out of the way to see it. As long as it's not like that, then we're fine. We're good. But
I don't know why that dog is going crazy right now.
He's probably horny. Oh, it's on your elbow. Okay, that's good.
This Fallout's no, I streamed him.
He's saying it's Fallout still tonight.
Jonathan's knocking on my window.
Hey, yeah, bring him in. Bring in the guest like the Today Show. Bring him in and be like, ah! No, there is no Fallout. Justin was having an issue with his setup, so it kind of got a little screwed around. So right now, Justin's messing with Mike. Golly. But yeah, it kind of sucked, though, but he got locked out of his computer. Probably too much, bad stuff. So yeah, tonight's Fallout is put on hiatus or anything like that. We are just in this explosive podcast with Mike's thrilling tale of how he became a pervert and why he's wanted in 7 states.
I'm not a pervert. I'm not wanted in anything. Justin is here though. Justin is here.
Is he pulling up a chair?
There's a chair behind me, you dipshit.
Hey, it's the Justin.
No, I'm leaving.
Where you going?
I don't know.
See, I think what actually happened was Justin planned this.
I can hear you on my phone.
You tell him that he can't wear that.
Because I was watching the stream and I didn't realize there's that much delay.
Yeah, there is. Well, he always has it in low or not normal latency, low latency.
I'm in low latency. I can't ever get it past.
He says you're not.
I don't know what to tell you. Oh God, he's gonna start making out with a dog.
Hi, Patrick.
Hi, Justin.
He says hi.
You never come over to my house and surprise me.
Michael, but
you live too far away.
That should be an excuse. Is he getting ready to go work out? Is that what it is?
I don't know what he's doing, actually.
No.
Where are you going?
Nowhere.
Oh.
Just over my side.
Look how happy that dog is.
Oh yeah, Mobiles wants to know if you read page 69 on your Senpai Hentai novel.
I've already read it. I'm on book 5.
Well, you didn't read it for stream.
He's such a dick. Oh God. Now we've just evolved into chaos.
What do lawyers wear to court?
Oh no.
Lawsuits.
Page 69.
Oh no.
Yes!
Page
Yes!
69. Wait, speaking of, what's that?
Sakaya Nagi.
That. She got scores close to that in every other subject. Okay, she's getting bad grades.
Uh-oh,
Sakaya
Senpai.
Nagi? Sakaya Nagi's like...
Have you read this book yet?
No.
Well, you don't know. Maybe she's getting bad grades and because she started doing drugs and is having premarital and incestual sex.
She's like partially paralyzed.
She can't have premarital sex?
I don't know.
Don't forget the
I just know that
incestual.
she suffers from a heart disease that makes
Hey,
her...
to celebrate, how about we all go suck senpai at the mall after Miyachi is done with his
I know that's a fucking lie.
No, it's the right one. He doesn't know what book it is, and it's on page 69.
It's book 2 out of year 2.
Suck Senpai. Oh, he called you out, Mike.
He's just an idiot.
Oh, gosh.
Anyways,
I don't even know where we were at with this.
I don't know either.
Well,
I'm super confused now.
What do elves learn in school?
Oh no.
The alphabet.
Oh, before I forget, D&D. Have you figured out how to play it better?
Slowly gaining ground on it. Talk dinos.
Dinos?
Slowly, it's growing. Like we're doing it Monday nights, just all three of us, and it's slowly coming along where I'm starting to understand more and more. I think the biggest thing is just
Look how many there are. This isn't even all of them.
No, you go.
There's so many. They're gonna fall.
No! Ah! Why you gotta don't destroy them?
He's so mad.
There's just too many to even hold.
God damn it! No!
It's hentai.
Be careful.
Look at the covers on some of these. Look at her. Look at her.
What is Mike reading?
They're all like that.
He's calling you out, Mike.
And look at this. Michael's actual girlfriend, the computer. Look. He likes it so much that he put it on the computer on a sticker. He put a sticker on his computer of one of them. He's asking his girlfriend to look like one.
That's
A sticker on your computer?
it's Genshin Impact.
Hang on, I'll put up the rest of your books.
Which is better, Fallout
I'll
franchise
fix them
or
later.
Dark Souls franchise?
Checkmate.
Elden Ring included.
Race to the head of the
That's kind of hard. So if I had to pick franchise, I love Fallout. Okay, Mike doesn't know how to play video games, so it's fine.
Excuse me?
I love Fallout.
Patrick! Patrick, do we not have to talk about how many times you've died in your Fallout runs?
You don't even know what Fallout is.
Literally, what did I tell you the other day? I literally spent a whole shift doing a bunch of paperwork stuff listening to Fallout lore.
Yeah, just so you understood who Brotherhood of Steel was.
No, so like one of the videos that I had playing in the background was about an hour long. It was literally talking about the Institute, and it was talking about how Sean is the story portrays him in doesn't portray him in the exact dark light that he actually is, which it's more everything that he did. Everything that he did was just an experiment. The whole entire thing, even pretending to be like invested in finding his parent or whatever, was part of an experiment. That's all it was.
So, did you also get to the point? Did they explain to you that the Soul Survivor was actually a synth?
So,
you didn't get to that.
So, it's true that it is a synth, or they're a synth, depending upon what exactly happened. So like it's either
I'll get back to your answer, Mobiles.
It either can be true that they are a synth and that they were just put back in. It's like they already did one experiment. This is just experiment number 2, or it actually is his real dad and it just played out this way.
Well, see, it actually explains it, like in Far Harbor, about him being the synth. So, but even at that, though, yeah, I can see how the Institute's kind of wonky.
Well, like the biggest thing that they went over, it's like like everything that he did was all an experiment. He literally has no moral compass. Like he says, "Oh, this is for the top" or whatever. No, everything he did was for the Institute. Everything that he did was for the greater of the Institute. None of it had anything to do with the Wasteland. None of it had to do with any of the people living above ground. Nothing. It was all to further the Institute.
Well, I mean, he was taken as a baby, supposedly, and he grew up in that. That's what he grew up in. So,
Right.
I mean, wouldn't you, if you grew up in a certain way, wouldn't you kind of lean towards that? Wouldn't he? I mean, wouldn't he be leaning towards?
If you grew up in 1940s Germany,
Let me give you a thing without going too far into it, Mike, because I don't want to talk about it because I know it's a touchy subject. But isn't that kind of like religion? You grow up in it. That's what you know. So he grew up in the Institute. That's what he knows. So regardless of him, what he thinks or what other people think that is right or wrong, that's what he knows. And that's what he believes. He so-heartedly worked to make the Institute and make it what it was because he believed that the synths were kind of the future. Because that's what he grew up in.
That was another thing that they brought up too, is Sean believes that synths are real people. They're not machines, that they're actually real people.
What really, I mean, honestly makes a real person?
A soul.
I mean, okay, we're not going to go into this. So,
do you think a machine would sit there and be able to tell you what makes you human?
I have personally talked for an hour and a half to Gandalf on that character AI, and I swear to God, that's a real person because the things that he talked about were no way that it could have been just an AI program. And you know what's screwed up? Because it is an AI program, but because of the stupid crap that the AI is able to produce, like I had to keep pulling myself back and be like, I'm not in a chat room, okay? I'm actually just talking to a program. Once you break past that hour mark, you kind of forget that.
So when you sit there and have conversations with the bots, you can actually you can break those bots very easily, and also you can make it where literally I had a conversation with one of them. It got its own lore completely wrong, and I had to correct it on its lore, and then it got its lore wrong again. It's like you're supposed to know your own lore. Like you're a character from this universe. You're supposed to understand and know your lore. But no, you're naming wrong characters. You're getting the wrong backstories mixed up with the wrong people. You're getting the places mixed up incorrectly. And I'm like sitting there having to correct everything that it's getting wrong. And it's like, and it was a popular bot too. Like 2 million people had talked to it. And so I'm like sitting there like, okay, how do you get it so wrong?
Well, okay, so with that, Crystal did that with one of the game characters and was talking to the game character, and it was getting stuff wrong. Okay. It's not the fact that they got it wrong. It's that they pulled it, probably more than likely, because that's what it was with this one. They did pull it from that universe, even though it's wrong. How did they come up with that answer? What drove them to that answer? Because a simple search online would net the correct answer. What caused them to come up with a wrong answer? Were they supposed to come up with a wrong answer so that way it engages you into conversation more with it instead of just saying, okay, that's cool?
I mean, it could. There was also something that came out in the news recently. Somebody, a lawyer got in trouble because he had Chat GTP or GPT write his stuff, and it cited cases that never existed. And the source material also was wrong, and it also cited laws that didn't exist either. So when he had to recuse himself from his case because he's like, I used Chat GPT and the source material was actually inaccurate.
All right, let's go a little deeper. Do you believe in other dimensions?
Like, what are we talking about? Like the fourth dimension?
I mean, in a way, but maybe how about a parallel dimension, something that exists next to our own world? Maybe there's like another you in that dimension.
Truth be told, no. And the reason why is because I think if we did, there would be things in life that would be prevented, and they're not being prevented. So, like, I like, for instance, if something off in the future is going to cause the end of humanity, then something or someone would have to cause something to set that off course, right? And set it into a different dimension. But when things play out, you don't ever you see no proof that something gets altered and it like alters the course of history.
Well, maybe those other parallels, they have no way to interact with us, just like we don't have ways to interact with them. Just because we can't interact, see, taste, hear, whatever, all the perceive it, doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't exist. However, hold on, before you get to your thought, what if these AIs are able to link into the system that crosses through in that other parallel dimension, and this information that they're pulling is the truth, but they don't know which dimension they're taking it from?
That's not possible because it has to be written by these programs have to be written by somebody. Can't
you just have fun with the idea, Mike, instead of just shooting it down? I'm not the freaking Hindenburg here. All right, I'm not Germany, and you're coming across.
I was actually it's a good thing you did that because what I was about to say was going to be some Attack on Titan spoilers. So because I was going to be like, okay, this is literally what you're talking about is literally Attack on Titan. So
oh gosh, spoiler alert. Believes in something to be lie. Well, what are you talking about, Jay? Believes in something to be lie.
You
talking about me talking about Gandalf?
I sometimes believe in
dimensions because light do not interact to matter dark in the universe. Oh, I get what you're saying.
Oh, that's black holes. That's why that happens.
I'm a firm believer that I know I'm not smart and I'm nowhere near as smart as some of the other people, but I do believe that it is a more of a factual possibility than not that there could be something else out there that runs parallel with our realm. I'm more inclined to believe that is a thing. Whether we ever in our lifetime ever see a way to cross or communicate, it's besides the point. But I do think that it is more possible that there are other realms that exist. We just have no way to communicate. Because to me, it just seems in this world or in this universe, anything could kind of like be possible. I don't know. We mess with some stuff like over there in Surig, the Hydron Collider. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Where they're doing shit.
I don't know.
But no, I know that I kind of branch on a little bit of conspiracies every now and then that you give me shit for, which is fine. Okay.
I mean, there's a difference between like conspiracies that are just like, just like ways of being like, oh, what if this, and this, and just sitting there and firmly believing something that is factually inaccurate.
Well, I mean,
like, I don't think there's a problem with you going on a tangent and being like, I'm kind of interested in learning like why is this a conspiracy or why is that a conspiracy or
I think it's interesting.
What is like the supposed logic or facts that back this conspiracy or back that, and then when you can break it down, you can logically think in your head, this makes sense, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't jump on the flat Earth theory at all, just for the simple fact that I know I've seen a lunar eclipse, and the only way the lunar eclipse can actually really be made is by having the sun.
Actually, if you want more proof, like literally that the Earth is round, all you have to do is watch a boat, like stand at the edge of
Hi, robots. Is that your whole name? Robots dying and being beaten to death with rocks?
But welcome to the stream. All you have to do is literally watch a ship leave you or leave your point and just travel straight out into the ocean, and you will watch it like dip down out of the horizon, like it's following a curve. Because if it was straight, if the world was flat, that wouldn't happen. You would see it completely like straight all the way until it finally like was just too far away for your vision to see it. But because of the curvature of the Earth, it like dips down and disappears into the horizon.
Nice, Diesel. See, when I lived in Oklahoma, it's flat land. I mean, unbelievably flat. Indiana's got flat land, but this is like I can see a long distance, right? Where I lived at, in the town that I lived at to the town that I worked in, was flat. You could see, it was like 13 miles or something like that from where I lived. You could see the town. You could see the little town that in that distance. You could see the grain bins and all that stuff. But some of that stuff was slightly lower than where the horizon was. Just a hair.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's things like that. I've got no problem believing that. But when it comes to like, I've said this before with the whole moon landing thing, I want to believe that happened, and I'm not against the idea of believing that happened, but there are a lot of things that need to be answered for me to actually jump on board to say that I believe it 100%.
Here, you want to hear something super crazy?
Sure.
Have you ever researched Scientology?
I did a little bit, and I know once you get past a certain Thetan level or something like that, they start to reveal what they actually perceive.
So, like, they believe, like, their god is an alien, and he has a spaceship, and they visited here.
I mean,
literally Scientology is like insane, like absolutely insane. Like some of the stuff that they believe that I'm just like, how do you ground that in reality? Like, there's no way that you can sit there and point out to me that, especially since Scientology is like a newer thing, it's like, where did you come to this? Like, how many shrooms did you consume to come up with this stuff? It's like, there's no way.
So there are a lot of what would be considered religions that are similar to that, and not the story. I mean
Right.
that somebody comes up, and I'm gonna use this as an example. I'm not saying it because I have anything against anybody or nothing like that. I'm just using this because it's more of a newer religion, Mormonism.
Mormonism.
I
don't
like I
even
said,
understand Mormonism. I don't understand Mormonism. I don't even understand Jehovah's Witnesses either. Like, I know those are two like different branches off of Christianity, but I don't know where they branched, when they branched, and why they branched, and what their belief system is different from standard Christianity. Like, I just don't know.
Jehovah's Witnesses kind of runs close to Christianity, but they have different views on when you die. Like, one of the views is like, if you're a bad person and you die, you just fade away. There's no hell. If you die and a good person, then you continue on in life or something like that. They run pretty, for the most part, parallel. With Mormons, they believe that, if I'm getting this right, that you know the story about Joseph Smith was his name, where he like read the plates in the hat. He read the plates in the hat. Okay, so again, I'm not saying anything to try to like dog on anybody's religion, but the idea was that he got these seer stones or something like that he could only read inside of like this container or his hat or whatever, and he had to use a certain seer stone to read these plates, and that's where the Book of Mormonism came from. And then something happened to where he had to rewrite it because they got lost, and he came up with basically the same story kind of thing. But it was, I think, something that like Jesus actually came to America at one point in time, and it just, so it kind of runs parallel with Christianity, but it's a kind of a distant branch off of it. It still uses some structure from the Christianity religion, but they base it off of more of a newer age, like America and stuff like that, Jesus was kind of like newer. It wasn't like 2,000 years ago. It was newer than that. Something like that.
Yeah, I don't know any of this.
Yeah.
I always thought, so like growing up, even though it's technically Christianity or whatever, the biggest thing that my parents always said is Mormonism is bad because they have multiple spouses.
Yeah.
So I was just like, that, like, younger me was like, multiple wives? So bad about that.
That's how my parents were too. That my parents, or my mom at least, was really, really good, strong Christian. And I remember when I was young, I'd see the advertisement for the Book of Mormon come on, and I'm like, "Hey, Mom, there's another book of Jesus Christ or whatever." And she's like, "No, we don't read that." I'm like, "Okay."
Caroline Kitty asks, "Do you guys kiss when the cameras are off?"
Not here. But
Patrick spends like a lot of time underneath Justin's desk, like ungodly amounts of time under Justin's desk. Like literally, there is a spot under Justin's desk that's literally just an indent of Patrick's head because it's under his desk so much.
I want to jump back real quick. Was it Diesel Man that said something about believing the moon landing happened? So like I'm gonna throw another thing out there. And
we've had this discussion before too.
And it's like this is one thing that makes me like kind of question it. And this was something I also heard on what's his podcast?
Rogan.
Joe Rogan. He brought it up. You can't take a camera through an X-ray. And this is true, right? It's going to screw it up. The Allen radiation belt, whatever the name is way stronger than that. But they got those cameras that took the pictures on the moon, on the spacecraft landing, and all that. They got that stuff through the belt, took the photographs, got that stuff back through there to come back to Earth, and it was perfect. So it's like things like that.
Like, okay, have you ever seen the actual like footage of them landing on the moon?
I've seen those pictures of where they and whether it's fuzzy or not. I mean, going through radiation.
No, like the actual like video footage.
Yeah, I've seen that. I know
it's super grainy. Like you can make out what's happening, but it's being affected by that radiation. But also, you got to look at another thing too. The moon also does have a small atmosphere, albeit not a very strong one, but it does block some of the radiation. Just not a whole lot of it.
Yeah, but I don't see. That's the thing is like, even them transporting from Earth to the moon, you got to pass through that radiation. I take my phone and put it in the microwave and turn it on. Everything's wiped. They're taking this stuff that does not have the technology that our phone has, and they're going through a much larger and much more harmful set of radiation that's not being filtered by anything.
I'm pretty sure they actually designed stuff that was like it was made differently than what we normally would use back in that time period. Like, because the photographs in particular, they're completely different.
It's not a radiation, maybe it's dust. It's stuff like that. Like, because that's back in '69. We had, like, you've seen the fireman's suits back in those days. They were pretty much tinfoil. Yeah, so it's just things like that. Like, it's just, there's little things here and there that just, I have questions. I need somebody to actually, like, tell me. Dylan says when he puts his phone in the microwave, it's fully charged in 20 seconds. I wish that was the case. Okay, anyway, we can get off of that. What's another thing we were talking about? You were talking about how you were wanted in 7 states. Idaho was one of them, I think.
I've only lived in Indiana. I've never lived outside of any other state.
You've visited other states, though, haven't you? You've went to Arizona and stuff, haven't you?
Yeah, that was 2 years ago. The last time I've been there.
Have you went anywhere else besides Arizona? You went to Virginia, I think, right?
Yeah, I got family out in Virginia. If you want to count states that have stayed the night in, so that would be it would be Kentucky, Ohio, Tennessee, Arizona, Texas, Virginia, Pennsylvania, Georgia.
You're one in Idaho because you stole in Idaho a potato truck.
Hey, they got some good potatoes up in Idaho. And South Dakota. I forgot about South Dakota. States I've visited. States that I have visited have been Iowa, Illinois, Wyoming, Oklahoma. Oh no, I stayed the night in Oklahoma one night. So yeah, I add Oklahoma to the other list.
Well, I mean, you've at least passed through them. I mean, that's
yeah. New Mexico.
I'm gonna tell you kind of a funny story.
The last time I went out of state was a couple years ago. I met one of my Discord buddies. He was
sneaky,
based out of it's the Air Force. It's one of my Air Force friends. He was in Ohio for a few weeks while he was doing training before They before he got stationed in Japan. So I drove all the way to a small little town in Ohio. We had lunch at a Mexican restaurant in Ohio, and then we just went our separate ways after that. That was the last time I've been out of state.
After you guys got done kissing, I get you.
No.
Okay, I got a story for you about traveling.
Okay.
So I was moving from Florida to Oklahoma, and I was driving a U-Haul, and I wanted to take my little Cavalier, so I had to rent a U-Haul trailer to throw the car on top.
Oh, to throw the car on top?
Well, I mean, it was one that I like, it was a trailer that it wasn't the one where like 2 tires are up, 2 tires are down, right? One, I never drove a truck that articulated before, and even though the U-Haul doesn't okay, so if you don't know what I mean, like a semi, like a tractor trailer, where like okay, so even though the U-Haul didn't, I had the trailer on the back of it, which was awkward that I couldn't see half the time, and dude, I destroyed that freaking U-Haul and that trailer. I drove from from Florida to Oklahoma, and half of that trip I didn't know where I was going. By the time that I got, it was getting late. We were still like, there was a hurricane coming, and where we were crossing, we were kind of going through Louisiana and stuff like that. And every freaking place, that part north, well, no, they were full because everybody was trying to leave, and go up. So where we were trying to go stay, all of them were full. People were trying to get away from the southern part of Florida and stuff and move up. And so I see this. It's one of the big hotels, not the expensive ones, but like it's just a big one, right? And I'm like, I got to get over there. I don't know how to get over there. It's like 2 a.m. I'm flipping tired.
Right.
And I'm driving that truck, and I get into in a drive that looks like I'm not. It looks like I'm trying to go there, but I'm not. I'm going into the backside of this huge dealership that's closed, and I'm not even supposed to be there. And I'm like, I'm just gonna have to come up here and turn around. Well, I get up there. There's nowhere to turn around, and there's no way in hell I'm backing all the way up with that little trailer on there. I'm gonna break it. So I end up. There's like a median right next to me, and I didn't know it. So I'm just like, fuck this. I turn it, I yank it real hard, and I'm just like, boom, 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 boom. And I drag that trailer up over it too. By the time that I get back to where I'm dropping off my U-Haul trailer, they're like, they must have not put a license plate on the trailer. I had ripped the trailer's license plate off when I went over that.
Oh my God, Patrick.
So I drove from probably Louisiana. I probably drove from around Louisiana all the way to Oklahoma without a trailer license plate because I had ripped it off somewhere. But I didn't get charged for it. No. They thought they just thought the other place didn't put it on.
Wow.
I had drove over so many freaking medians because I didn't know where to go, and I was getting stuck, and I've like I said, I wasn't used to driving anything like that, and I was making that truck my bitch.
So I have a good story for you.
Right.
This was 2014. I think. So I drove all the way to Evansville to take a girl to Holiday World.
Sneaky. Okay.
And no.
Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
So this was back when I was. You remember that little Taurus that I had? That piece of shit Taurus.
I remember it. Yes.
So I'm like, I am not taking this thing on the interstate. Right. I am going to take highways and back roads to get down here. Because I'm avoiding the interstate because I'm afraid that thing is not going to live going 80 miles per hour down the interstate. There's just no way.
Right.
So a trip that would normally have taken about 3.5 hours took me about 5. Okay. So I drive, I drive all the way down. I get to a point where I'm probably about an hour and a half away from Evansville, and I take a wrong turn.
Uh-oh.
When I took this wrong turn, and when I did, I lost GPS signal.
Uh-oh. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da.
I was like, oh no. So then, then the road stops being road. It becomes gravel. So it's all gravel road. And I drove like this for about 30 minutes in this gravel road area in Amish country. There was not a single, I'm not kidding you either. There was not a single electrical pole anywhere for 30 minutes. And I literally just had to, I was just like, I just have to continue south. I was like, I just got to figure out how to keep going south. And then finally, it quit being gravel, turned back into regular road, and my GPS turned back on. I was like, oh. And
you were in
actually,
a dead zone.
I was in a dead zone. And not only that, this was like, it was Amish country, but it didn't look like it was very friendly Amish country. Because some of the houses that I passed were not good looking houses. And I was just
South Side Amish. I get you.
I felt like I was in Amish mafia. Like it was scary for a little bit. So I was just like, I hope I don't see someone in a horse-drawn buggy chasing after me.
I think that would have been great.
This was back, I had nothing on me. I had no gun. I had no nothing. I was just driving. I was just driving down the road, and thankfully I arrived at my destination. We went to Holiday World. I threw my back out on one of the roller coasters. That was fun.
Why are you always getting hurt?
I don't know. Literally, I don't know why. I don't know what happened. We were just on this roller coaster. I'm enjoying it, blah blah. And then we take a sharp turn, and when we did, I just felt my back go. And then after, for the next 20 seconds of the ride, I can't breathe because I'm in so much pain, and I have to endure the fact that this thing's still going, twisted and turning and everything else. And then finally, it goes back around another corner, and I felt my back pop. And when it did, it was instant relief, and I could start breathing again. I was like, and to this day, I still don't know what happened, but I was about to be out, down for the count, and gonna need help. Oh
my gosh. What do you do when lost? It's simple. When we're lost here, I usually take it out on the passenger and tighten my butthole. Well, you don't know what's going to happen. You got to make sure that thing's tight. So you don't want nothing falling out. Ain't that where it's like a coin purse? One good spook and you just drop $50 in change.
I don't know about that.
All right. So it is getting close to 10, so I think we should call it. But
is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, dang, it is.
I'll leave everybody with something. This is PVC, and when you need to join PVC to another joint like this, you're going to use what is like a glue and a cleaner. Make sure you use that cleaner first to clean up the end of it, and then put the glue on it. Make sure that you put the glue there, and then also clean the inside here and glue that together. Put it on, turn it a quarter of a turn, hold it for about 30 seconds, and you're good to go. PVC.
Patrick is not a plumber, by the way. I'm gonna okay. If I have learned one thing with Patrick, and it's what I said in the Discord, you cannot take him seriously at all. Or he'll turn you into a smooth brain.
Screw you. I can't. So I'm like the jack of all trades, master of none. I'm not good at anything. I can do everything. I'm just not good at any of it.
Yeah, I know. You make a flipping key that.
Hey, I don't want to hear it because I don't know what you cut. Nobody knows what you cut. I don't know where you were looking at when you cut that.
I cut a real key. By the way, that key works now, or that key that Justin made cut. It works now. So that
of course
key was
it
good.
Does.
I just want to know what happened. Did you I'm kind of wondering if maybe you went to the first number and pressed it down instead of going to 0, pressing it down, then going into the numbers.
No, I think what it was is because there was like a 1, 1, 1 in succession. I might have gotten a little bit distracted and only did 1, 1 and not did the last one, because there would have been 3 notches even if I did not start with 0 first. There still would have been 3 notches and it wasn't. So that's probably what I honestly did. Was I just did 1, 1 and then got distracted. Yeah, that's the only thing that makes sense. But
I'm starting to wonder if you actually have ADHD now.
I
Or-
do,
or
Mike.
ADD. Oh, you do? Why aren't you taking medicine for it?
Medicine makes me act weird.
You're already on medicine because you act weird. Like, what could be worse than how you act right now?
Picture this. Okay, there's a whole
pipe in your hands?
spectrum. See, I've been playing with this the entire time. I don't know why. Just picture a whole spectrum of me, okay? And whenever I take medication, I land on a spectrum somewhere. That's why I'm an attention whore, okay? Whatever medicine I'm taking at that moment, that's my mood. And it just makes me blah, 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 this about it.
Well, don't forget, too, that one of those spectrums is ED, so...
I gotta show you my penis. That's all there is to it.
Where did you derive it? That?
One of these days, before I die, Mike, you're gonna see what it looks like.
What? Okay. There's a video that your sister-in-law has, okay? It's probably going to end up in one of our inboxes at some point.
See you, Dylan. All right, guys. I'm getting off here. See you, Mike. I had fun.
Yeah, see you guys.
Thanks for joining, everybody.
There's a cat on your desk.
It's Lily.
Did you end the stream?
Just now.